So how do you know when it is time to leave a relationship? If you are asking this question, there is a good chance you have been trying to make sense of a situation that keeps confusing you. You might care about them, you might still love them, and you might also feel tired, anxious, or unhappy. That mix is exactly why this is hard, because love and pain can exist in the same place, and hope can keep you attached long after your reality has been trying to get your attention. I want to help you get clarity without shaming you for staying, and without rushing you into a decision you are not ready for. The goal is simple. You want to know whether this relationship can realistically become healthy, or whether staying is slowly costing you your self-respect, your peace, and your sense of self. Before we go further, I need to say one important thing clearly. If there is any physical violence, threats, intimidation, sexual coercion, stalking, or you feel afraid of your partner, this is not a normal relationship problem. This is a safety problem. Your priority is to get support and get safe. And that can include reaching out to trusted people in your life and local professional services. Now, if what you are dealing with is ongoing neglect, emotional unavailability, chronic disrespect, constant defensiveness, or a pattern that keeps hurting you, then the question becomes, what evidence do you have that the relationship can change, and what evidence do you have that it will not? A lot of people get stuck because they focus on potential and ignore patterns. Potential is a story about the future. Patterns are the truth about the present. So here is the first and most important sign that it may be time to leave. When you express pain, do you get partnership or do you get punishment? Think about the last few times you tried to talk about something that mattered to you. Did they lean in, listen, and try to understand even if it was uncomfortable? Did they take any accountability? Did they care about repair? Or did they shut down, get defensive, mock you, blame you, or turn it into a fight where you end up apologizing for having feelings? In a healthy relationship, your feelings are not treated like a problem to manage. They are treated like information about the connection. If your honesty consistently triggers anger, contempt, stonewalling, or punishment, then what you are learning is that being real is not safe with this person. And without emotional safety, intimacy cannot grow. The next sign is effort that only appears when you are about to walk away. This is a big one. Many people stay because they have seen their partner change temporarily. Maybe there is a big apology, a sweet week, a promise to do better, and then the same behavior returns once they feel secure again. That cycle can become addictive. The relief feels like proof that the relationship is working, and the pain feels like something you just have to survive until the next good moment. But real change is not a burst of intensity. Real change is consistency over time. A healthy partner does not only show up when there is a consequence. They show up because the relationship matters, and because your experience matters. So ask yourself this: has the relationship improved in a steady way over the last 6 months? Or is it the same loop with different arguments? If you keep having the same conversation, and you keep getting the same result, the relationship is telling you something. Another sign is that your needs are constantly minimized. Not occasionally missed, not imperfectly met, but routinely dismissed. You bring up a need and you are told you are too sensitive, too needy, too demanding, or asking for too much. You ask for basic respect, and it becomes an accusation that you are controlling. You ask for reassurance and you get an eye roll. You ask for quality time and you are treated like an inconvenience. Over time, this does something to your mind. You start editing yourself. You start questioning whether your needs are valid. You start trying to be easier to love, which often means you're trying to be smaller. That is not growth. That is self-abandonment. A healthy relationship does not require you to betray yourself to keep the peace. It supports you in becoming more fully yourself. That leads to another sign that is often overlooked. Who are you becoming in this relationship? Are you becoming calmer, more confident, more stable, more open? Or are you becoming anxious, insecure, reactive, and constantly on edge? Do you feel like you can speak freely, or do you feel like you have to choose every word carefully to avoid a fight? Do you feel regulated after spending time together, or do you feel drained, tense, and unsettled? Your nervous system is data. It is not perfect, but it is honest. If your body feels like it is always bracing, that matters. Now let us talk about accountability, because this is one of the clearest dividing lines between relationships that can heal and relationships that cannot. Healthy couples do not avoid mistakes, they repair them. Repair means someone can say, "I hear you, I get why that hurt. I can see my part and I want to do better." It does not mean they grovel, it means they take responsibility. If your partner cannot take responsibility, if every conflict becomes a courtroom where they are trying to prove they are right, if they always shift blame back onto you, if they deny your experience, then you are dealing with someone who is not emotionally available enough for a secure relationship. You cannot build trust with someone who refuses to acknowledge reality. You also cannot build intimacy with someone who treats your feelings as an argument to win. Another sign is repeated boundary violations. A boundary is not a threat. It is not an attempt to control. It is simply a statement of what is acceptable for you. In healthy relationships, boundaries are respected even when they are inconvenient. In unhealthy relationships, boundaries become debates. You say no, and they pressure you. You ask them to stop, and they do it again. You share something vulnerable, and they later use it against you. If you keep setting the same boundary, and it keeps getting crossed, the message is clear. They understand they just do not agree that your comfort matters as much as their desire. That is not a misunderstanding. That is a values problem. Now there is another sign that sounds simple but hits hard. You feel lonelier with them than you felt alone. Loneliness inside a relationship is a serious signal, because it means the connection is not meeting the basic human need for emotional attunement. You can be in the same room and feel emotionally abandoned. You can be next to someone and still feel unseen. If your relationship has become a place where you are constantly reaching and rarely receiving, the relationship is slowly teaching you to stop reaching. That can look like you shutting down, pulling away, or feeling numb. It is not that you stopped caring, it is that your system is trying to protect you from disappointment. So if you are asking, when is it time to leave? One answer is, leave when you have to disconnect from yourself in order to stay connected to them. Now let us address what keeps people stuck. One common trap is sunk cost. You've invested time, energy, memories, maybe a home, maybe shared responsibilities. So your mind says, "I cannot leave now," because that would mean the time was wasted. But staying longer does not protect your past investment. It only increases the cost. Your future matters more than your history. Another trap is attachment. Sometimes what you call love is partly an attachment wound. You want them to choose you, because if they choose you, it feels like proof that you are worthy. That is a very human response, especially if you grew up having to earn love through being helpful, quiet, high-achieving, or emotionally easy. But here is the truth. You do not heal unworthiness by staying with someone who keeps reinforcing it. You heal it by choosing relationships where your needs are not treated like a burden. Another trap is potential. You are attached to who they could be. You keep imagining that if they finally understand, if they finally heal, if they finally commit, then everything will click. But relationships are built on who someone is consistently, not who they are occasionally, and not who they might become someday. If nothing changed for the next 5 years, would you want to stay? Not if they finally improve, not if things get better. But if it stayed like this, would you still choose it? If the answer is no, that is important information. Now I want to give you a practical way to get clarity without spiraling. First, separate words from patterns. Words are easy, patterns are costly. Ask yourself what you have seen repeatedly, not what you have been promised. Second, look for willingness, not capability. Many people can change. The question is whether they are willing to do the work consistently. Willingness looks like taking initiative, seeking feedback, going to therapy if needed, reading, practicing new skills, and following through without you having to manage the process. Third, observe how conflict goes. In healthy relationships, conflict leads to understanding and repair. In unhealthy relationships, conflict leads to escalation, avoidance, blame, and emotional withdrawal. Over time, this becomes predictable. If your conflicts repeatedly leave you feeling confused, guilty, or like you have to prove your right to be upset, the dynamic is unhealthy. Fourth, do a simple reality check. If you stopped initiating for a month, what would happen? If you stopped texting first, planning, checking in, smoothing things over, apologizing first and carrying the emotional labor, would the relationship still function? Healthy relationships do not require one person to be the engine. If it collapses when you stop chasing, you have your answer about balance. Now, some of you are thinking, but nobody is perfect. And you are right. So here is how you tell the difference between normal imperfection and a relationship that is not safe for you. A healthy imperfect partner might mess up, but they care that they hurt you and they try to change. An unhealthy partner might mess up, but they resent you for noticing. They treat your reaction as the problem. They avoid accountability and they repeat the same harm. The difference is not whether they make mistakes. The difference is whether they repair them. If you decide to leave, it does not have to mean you hate them. It does not have to mean they are evil. It can simply mean the relationship is not healthy and you are done abandoning yourself to keep it going. Leaving can be grief and relief at the same time. You can miss them and still know it is not right. You can love someone and still accept that love is not enough when respect, consistency, and emotional safety are missing. If you are afraid you'll regret leaving, remember that you can also regret staying. The more important question is, which choice protects your self-respect and your mental health? Heartbreak hurts, but it can heal. Self-betrayal becomes a pattern that slowly changes who you are. So what is the clearest sign that it is time to leave? It is when you have communicated clearly, you have offered repair, you have given reasonable chances, and the pattern stays the same. It is when your partner shows you through repeated behavior that they are not willing to build the kind of relationship you need. It is when you have to shrink, perform, or stay silent to avoid consequences. It is when your needs are consistently dismissed, your boundaries are repeatedly crossed, and your emotional reality is treated like a nuisance. It is when the relationship asks you to carry the work of two people. And if you're still unsure, I will leave you with a final, grounded question. When you imagine your future self, the version of you 1 year from now, do you see that version feeling more peaceful, more stable, more confident, and more like yourself if you stay or if you leave? Do not answer from fear, answer from truth. Because the point of a relationship is not just to have someone. The point is to have a connection that supports your well-being, your growth, and your sense of safety. You're allowed to want a relationship where your feelings matter, where effort is mutual, where accountability exists, and where love is not just a word, but a consistent set of actions.